What's up, guys? Carl here, Noble Training. I'm with my bud David Zietz. The heel lift. This is just a piece of almost 2x4, 1x2 I cut at Home Depot. You could use plates, you could use a lot of things. But the importance of a heel lift goes further than you think, and I don't think people realize how helpful it can be to you, especially in a bodyweight squat or a goblet squat, a front squat, back squat. So real quick, like I said, you can cut a piece of wood, you could use 10-pound plates, that's up to you. But what we're trying to get at is most people, we wear shoes. We've worn shoes since we were born, right? So what happens is we're on a slow plantar flex position, meaning we're always have an elevated heel. So that over time can decrease the range of motion in our ankles and dorsiflexion particularly. Plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. So a good example, I had a bad ankle injury years ago. I have limited ankle range of motion, so I always squat with the heel lift. It makes my squat better looking and much safer for me. So a good example, I'm going to show you David Zietz from a lateral perspective. He's just going to do 3 bodyweight squats. So you can see he has a little bit of hip flexion. Nothing crazy. I mean, Zietz used to be 60 pounds heavier, so he's a very good athlete now. But you see how he flexes his trunk a little bit. He's not getting lumbar flexion, but he's getting hip flexion. Not the end of the world, but imagine if he's in that position and I have a loaded barbell and he flexes forward, what do you think is going to happen? That shear force on his low back is going to take over and he's going to have back pain. So watch the difference now. This is a little bit of a thicker heel lift. He's going to step on. He can hold the weight if he wants. You don't have to. Goblet position the dumbbell. Now remember, we're taking the ankle dorsiflexion issue out of the game. So he's going to squat down, good posture. See the difference there? He can shoot his hips down and back so it takes shear force off of the patella tendon. He shoots up, then he drives his hips back and down. So now this heel lift, he doesn't feel like he's going to fall back anymore. Without the heel lift, he feels like he's going to fall back, so he compensates and flexes. Thank you. So you see the difference. And it's such a simple fix. It does not give you knee pain. And yes, some people say, well, what if your knee crosses your toe in a squat? That can be okay if the weight goes back. So besides the ankle issue, there's still an underlying issue if you need a heel lift. But let's be honest, you're going to come in, train 2-3 hours a week. Most people aren't going to sit there and do what they need to do to correct that ankle mobility issue. Could also be a hip flexor issue. And a lot of times, this will help females with very long femurs. So the tibia-fibula ratio to the femur can be a big problem. It could be very problematic for people when they squat. So simply use a heel lift and squat however you want to squat. Give it a shot.